Facebook friends all over the world. I'm just here online now because I've been getting a ton of requests, private messages from people all over the world wanting to get this neuro health reset. As some of you know, when I see some of you that post pictures when you're either in a hospital or you're at home and you're pain, and I just, I really don't like to see anybody suffer. So, and we all have the ability to heal ourselves. However, it really does take a combination of not just personal instruction, but also application and learning how to do different modalities to figure out what really truly works. And sometimes we have to integrate multiple modalities to get these things to work. So in 2019 was quite an amazing year. It was basically all in all the year of magic for me, where some quantum phenomena things really took place. The first part of the year was that call later. But anyhow, needless to say that in the face of adversity, there's something magnificent that usually, almost 99% of the time, something fantastic happens from the seeds of adversity. It just seems to be the natural rhythm of the universe, of this planet and of this galaxy, that from chaos, a new order and reorder is established and something better, comes out of that. And so rather than get into those details, I just want to say that, from the midst of, I had some adversity, and one of the things that happened to me, not in 2019, it happened a couple years before, was that I was in I had an Orange County Transit Authority bus that actually hit me while I was riding my bike. So needless to say that, that's something that I really did not, I was out of it for a long time after that happened, needless to say. But I really have not really come public talking about, I had a traumatic brain injury, I had a neck injury, I had a back injury, I had a leg injury. I had, it really whacked me out, put me in a lot of pain. I was in shock for a long time. And it really led me to Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. And that being said, one of the things that I have learned to do, that I do in conjunction with the meditative practices, is this thing called a neuro health reset. And I have been an avid student of the healing arts basically since I was a kid. I developed a passion for healing and medicine and the biological sciences when I was 11. I was just thinking last night, I don't know why, when I was made my mom buy me like Russian chemistry books, and I guess I was kind of a nerdy geek back, well, I don't want to say back then, because I still read medical papers and CDC reports and all that kind of stuff. But anyhow, the bottom line is this, that I have found something that really works, and it only takes 3 to 5 minutes. To me, that seems like, wow, it's such an incredible gift to give to people. And I know that there's a lot of doctors, ER doctors, physicians that are all sorts of different disciplines, everything from neurologists to oncologists to you name it, in LA County, Orange County, and San Diego, who actually use this. I wish more of them would, but I learned this technique through Dr. David Snyder, who's in San Diego. He has a long list of different medical healing arts, and he's a Chinese medicine doctor and a Reiki master, and the list is endless. You can look him up on YouTube and learn a gazillion things from him. I'm one of his students. And the long story short is that he does this, neuro health reset, which only takes 2 to 3, in fact 3 to 5 minutes tops, and it works. And it actually touches and integrates 8 different sensory systems in your body. So everything from your proprioceptive, interoceptive, mechanoceptive, exteroceptive, your olfactory, gustatory, auditory, visual. I think I hit all 8 there. I wasn't really counting. I was just going off of memory, off of the 8 different systems. And the way the human brain works is that when you have some sort of pain that occurs to you, there's obviously an external force that oftentimes inflicts that pain, and so your brain will categorize and put it away using your proprioceptor system and obviously your visual system, your auditory system. Sometimes it takes place. I don't want to get into too much of the science because the purpose of this is not so much to educate you on the process as to have you benefit from having the health reset. If you want to look into the science and find out more about it, it's been over 35 years that Dr. William Bengston has actually researched this really extensively. There's quite a few medical schools that have all of this data, and he is just an avid researcher, and his name is Dr. Bill Bengston and William Bengston. So this is who Dr. David Snyder learned this from, and there's amazing, he actually has white papers. So if you just go to his website, which is bengstonresearch.com, you can do your due diligence if you'd like to check that out. What I want to do tonight is I want to focus on providing this neuro health reset, which in effect what it does is it syncs the left and the right hand side of your brain so that both sides are communicating, and it starts to unwind quite literally whatever pain point you have in the body. So if you can point to the pain in your body, you can remove it by my doing this neuro reset with you, which after I do this with you, you'll be able to do it for yourself. And so you can rewatch this video, or you can watch a video that I just posted. I think it was yesterday I just posted it because people kept on asking me, oh, could you send me the instructions? So I would send them the written instructions. And then several people were saying, oh, could you do an audio or could you do a video? It would be much easier for me to listen to the video or listen to the audio instead of having to read it. And it's actually very simple. So I'm going to walk you through the steps right now. So anybody who is on here, and I'm really feeling the intuitive hit to do these daily while this whole pandemic that's going on globally. Like I said, I've had people from all over the world that have been reaching out, and they are getting really positive effects where, everything from going, some people with epileptic seizures that they've had daily, they no longer have them. People who have, and I don't guarantee that you're going to have the same results that these people have had. I'm just telling you what their results have been. So another person, they had some sort of neurological disorder where for years they haven't been able to walk without pain, could barely walk from their living room to the bathroom. And now that same lady who lives in Ireland, now she walks freely without pain. And in fact, she has urges to go out for walks around the block, which she said she hasn't had in over 20 years. So this is, available to you too. Now, if I'm talking fast, the only reason why I'm talking fast is because I get so excited and I'm so passionate about this work. I really want you guys to have relief of your pain. And I really want to also talk to those of you who are in fear, in worry, or hurry. I call worry and hurry the offspring of fear, because they're the two nasty offspring of the energy, which is the parent of hurry and worry is fear. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the worst virus man has ever known since Adam and Eve until now. The problem with the fear virus is that it is rampant. It is underhanded. It can disguise and morph itself into other things like anxiety, nervousness, depression, repression, suppression, and all sorts of other things. Ask me how I know. Been down that road before. The other thing about the problem with the virus, and I'm going to call fear a virus. I really do believe it is a virus because it grows and expands and it's easily contagious to other people. It's a vibrational frequency that it really drains you of energy, and it really drains others of energy too that are around you if you're in that fear place. But the worst part of all is that when you embrace and embody fear, because fear is not just something that happens in your brain, make no mistakes, it's in your brain, but it's recorded in the actual flesh, in the meat suit. And so whatever is your weakest organ is going to bear the brunt of that energy, because that's where that energy likes to hide, is in the weakest organ. So those are the organs that now become susceptible. This is scientifically proven. You don't have to take my word for any of this stuff. But whatever organ is the weakest in your body, then the energy goes there. And typically that's where first you'll have a cluster of cells, then those clusters of cells that are not benign, they start to turn into a tumor, which at first can be a benign tumor, and then it can be turned into a malignant tumor. Now, it's not confined to just turning into tumors. It can turn into all sorts of diseases, all sorts of syndromes, and we don't need to get into all that. We're well aware of not just COVID-19, but there is no shortage of illness, diseases, maladies that are inherent to us as human beings. But that's the damage that fear does, primarily because it sucks away all of the energy from all of your body, and it basically focuses now. The energy gets condensed into your first, your second, and your third energy center. Yes, part of the problem is it sucks blood, circulation, energy, and oxygen away from your heart, from your brain, from your extremities, and concentrates it to your guts. Your first, your second, your third energy center. If anybody has any question about what those first, second, third energy centers are, the first energy center is at the base of your spine at your perineum. Second energy center is 2 inches below your belly button, and your third energy center is 2 inches above your belly button. Why does your body do this? First of all, you need to know that your body is a protein-making mechanism. Its job is to make proteins. Based on the proteins that your brain signals to it to make, it will either upregulate or downregulate the expression of genes that you have in your body. If you've had, the more you have the first, second, and third energy centers just completely on, and now your fourth, your fifth, your sixth, and seventh, and eighth energy centers are off because now they're in fight or flight, they're in survival mode because it's in fear. It's fearing that your body's at risk of being eaten, of dying, of not surviving. So it pulls the energy from the brain. You can't make good decisions when you don't have energy and blood flow going to the brain. And it pulls energy from your heart because it needs to preserve, it literally preserves your guts so that you have the energy to bolt if you have to. So now you're upregulating cortisol. Let's not get into all the neurochemistry that's involved there, but let's say we all know that adrenaline and cortisol are automatically activated if you're in any kind of trauma or accident, or all of a sudden your doctor gives you the bad news, you've been diagnosed with the big C or anything for that matter right now. Automatically it goes, all the blood, just your heart sinks. People will tell you, oh, when I heard that news, I felt like my heart just sank. That's because the energy is being like grotesquely pulled from your heart, as well as your brain, but your heart is more sentient than your brain. If you don't know this, neurosurgeons, when they do brain surgery, your brain itself doesn't feel anything. They can poke and prod on the brain, you don't feel anything. It's all fatty tissue. But your heart feels in a multiplied manner. So now you've got energy being pulled from your brain, energy being pulled from your heart. Your heart feels like it sinks. And sometimes you'll have a bad visceral feeling because it's just like down in your gut. But your body is trying to preserve itself in case it needs to just like run out the door because there's fire. Run out, from wherever you are because something's gonna bite you. So this neuro health reset is gonna help rebalance the left and the right hemisphere of your brain because it touches upon 8 different sensory systems in the body. You can read all about it. Check out Dr. David Snyder on YouTube. You can do your due diligence there. Check out the Bengston method on the web, Dr. William Bengston. He's got over 35 years and who knows how many medical schools, but there's multiple medical schools that have all of his research, and he is a research doctor. So without further ado, let's see, we've got, who's on? Maddie Stillman is on again, and Brenton Tyler, and Forrest is on, and who else is on? We've got, how do you say that? Ryan Wesley. So let's get started here. Thank you, everybody. And this is the second time I've never seen these little wavy things, but I'm going to wave back at you. I don't know how to initiate a wave on here. So let's start with the Neuro Health Reset so that you can all benefit from this. And once this is done, this is the key thing. If you feel pain anywhere in your body, it doesn't matter if it's a headache, a migraine. Oh, okay, this is the other thing I gotta tell you guys, because I had a gal who was in Hawaii and I didn't know she was driving. Normally you can tell on the phone if somebody's driving, but this particular time, for whatever reason, I couldn't tell that she was driving. So I took her through the process and she's like, oh my God, my migraines, she'd had the migraine since the day before. And she's like, oh my God, my migraine's gone. And I said, yeah, I mean, it sometimes can work really fast. She goes, it's completely gone. And she goes, I'm driving. I just did it in my mind and it worked. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're not supposed to do it while you're driving. So if anybody's driving, please just wait till you get home, watch the replay and do it it doesn't matter if you're standing up or if you're sitting down. Yes, it worked with her while she's driving, but I don't recommend that for your own safety, okay? So it does talk to how powerful this method is, because I really emphasize the fact that you're going to be using your hands. Whether you're sitting or whether you're standing, you're going to be closing your eyes. And so she obviously didn't close her eyes while she was driving and it still worked. But if you have a powerful imagination, I suppose, obviously it worked for her. So we are going to start this Neuro Health Reset, and the most important thing is the breath. There's plenty of also research, which if you have followed me on Facebook, you've seen things that I've posted. Your breath is like the remote control to your brain. Now, I'm going to tell you this information because I think it's important that you know this. Most people don't know that as you take a deep breath and you inhale, as you bring the breath up, the sutures in your cranium actually open. What does that do? That brings your cerebral spinal fluid. As you bring your attention, because where you've put your attention and your focus, energy will go where your focus and attention goes. So as you bring your attention to your first energy center and you inhale and you bring it up, the sutures in your cranium actually expand. And as you exhale, it closes back up. When it closes back up, it then releases. As you exhale, your cerebral spinal fluid goes back to the base of your perineum. Now you're wondering, so who cares? I'm going to tell you why you should care. This is why this is so important. Normally, the cycle, the time that it takes for your cerebral spinal fluid to go from the base of your spine to the top of your head and down, it takes 24 hours for that cerebral spinal fluid to cycle up and down twice. So twice a day, without you doing anything, your cerebral spinal fluid is going up and it's going down. Now, what's your cerebral spinal fluid? Your cerebral spinal fluid is made up of liquids, proteins, and it has, in addition to having proteins, it has an electrical charge because of the fluid that's in there. As you inhale and you exhale, instead of it taking 24 hours for you to have 2 cycles, with each inhalation now you have a completed cycle. So as we do 3 breaths, you will have 3 completed cycles. Separate from this Neuro Reset, if you do meditations, one of the things that Dr. Joe Dispenza does, which I'm one of his advanced students and one of his proteges, he teaches us to do this specific breath where you focus the energy on your first energy center, bringing up to the second, to the third, to the fourth, open up, bring the elevated emotion of love to your heart, open up your heart, and then you bring that powerful energy up into your throat chakra, your throat 5th energy center, then to your pineal gland, to your pituitary gland, and then to your 8th, and then you release it down. With every breath, what you start to do is you start to excite the electrons that are in your cerebral spinal fluid. And as the electrons start to do this number, they're literally starting to touch each other faster and faster and faster. It's a mechanical process that you're implementing in order to create an excitability amongst the electrons. As the electrons reach your pineal gland, that now fires and wires a chemical reaction to, you have 5 crystals that are shaped like rhombohedrons. They sit on the top of your pineal gland. As these crystals start to shimmer because of the electrons, they're going to eventually create something called the piezoelectric effect. The moment you have the piezoelectric effect take place, boom. Oftentimes what you'll feel in your body is like boom. It's like you'll hear and feel like a snap, like an electric, like shock, like a jolt in your body. I have felt it sometimes at my left and my right side. You might just feel it up the middle. That piezoelectric effect starts to kick off a chemical reaction as you continue to do this breath. That's why the breath is so important. As you continue to do that, you're going to start to produce oxytocin, melatonin, vasopressin, benzodiazepine, and ultimately the coup de grace is when you trigger your brain to create dimethyltryptamine, DMT, which is the most powerful immunosuppressant chemical known to mankind. This kills off pretty much any disease, any bacteria, any germ. It's a natural occurring chemical in your body, yada, yada, yada. So we are not going to go into that elevated of a breath, but we are going to go 3 deep breaths to start off with. You are going to intentionally tell yourself that you're going to slow down your heart rate, slow down your breath, slow down your brain waves with each breath. And then you're going to follow the simple, they're super easy instructions. Even a 3-year-old can follow this. So make no mistakes about this. So let's get started. So let's sit down, or if you feel more comfortable standing up, you could stand up. Last time I did this, which was with one of my Facebook groups, I did it sitting. So I'm going to do this one standing. Let's see, can I do this standing? Yeah, I can do this standing. So we're going to do this standing, or sitting down, whatever's more comfortable and where you feel the most relaxed, okay? So you're going to take a deep breath and you're going to inhale, starting at your first energy center. Inhale, up to your second energy center, to your third energy center, to your fourth energy center. Feel your heart open, bring an elevated sensation of love in your heart, up to your fifth energy center, to your sixth energy center, to your pineal gland, the bridge behind your nose, to the seventh energy center. You're going to hold and exhale. Always inhaling with your nose. Second breath. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Open your heart. Feel the elevated emotion of love. Have it fill your chest cavity. Continue to inhale to the fifth energy center, to the sixth behind the bridge of your nose, to the seventh. Hold and exhale through your nose. This is your third breath. You're going to continue to do these breaths as I give you the instructions. Third breath, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Open your heart. Feel the emotion of love. Go to your fifth energy center, to the sixth, to the seventh. Hold and exhale and relax. Now, whether it's pain, if you have pain, I want you to point to the place in your body that you feel pain. If it's fear that you're feeling, I want you, with your eyes closed, I want you to identify where in your body you're feeling fear. Some people feel fear in their heart as a gripping type of a pain. Other people will feel it in their gut, where they might have gut pain. Some people will feel it like around their ears, like this indescribable discomfort in their ears. So wherever it is that you feel pain or discomfort in your body. Sometimes fear manifests as a strong, sharp feeling between your shoulder blades, in your back. Sometimes it's really bad lower back pain. So it doesn't matter where it is. I want you to point right now, with your eyes closed. Point to the place in your body with your dominant hand. And now I want you in your mind's eye, I want you to trust your inner being, and the first color that comes to mind as you look at that energy in that place where you're pointing at, I want you to tell yourself what color, say out loud what color it is, or what colors you're seeing in that spot. Okay? So identify the color or colors of that spot. So now the next step is, I want you to go to that place in your body where you feel that pain. And with both hands, you're going to reach to that area of your body and you're going to sweep all that energy that is causing you discomfort, and make sure you sweep it well, because that crap likes to hide. So grab all of it. And when you know that you've got it all, pull it out and hold it before you. Keep your eyes closed. Hold that energy before you. Ooh. And oftentimes you will feel the movement of the energy in your hands as you hold it before you. So now say out loud, what direction is that energy moving in? Is it moving to the right? Is it moving to the left? Is it moving forward like the wheels on a bicycle? Is it moving backwards like the wheels of a bicycle going backwards? Is it moving diagonally upward to the right or downward to the bottom left? What direction is it moving in? Whatever direction it's moving in, I want you to notice that. And now that you have that energy in your hands, I want you to tell me what color this energy that's moving in your hands, what color is it? Is it the same as when it was in your body, or has there been a change now that it's outside of your body? Whether it's changed or not doesn't make a difference. I just want you to notice the change. Okay? So now take that energy, now that you know the direction that that energy is moving in, and I want you to change the direction. You're going to spin it in the opposite direction. So you're going to double the speed. Vroom! Double the speed. Vroom! Bigger, wider, more amplified. Double and double and double that speed. Now you're going to amplify that speed. Now 10 times faster. And now you are going to make it spin so fast it's going to go into a blur. Vroom, vroom, vroom. 10 times, 10 times, 10 times faster, wider, more amplified. Vroom! It is going so fast you can't even see it spinning. It is an absolute blur. When you know that it's impossible for this spin to stop in this new direction, I want you to slam it back into your body. Ooh. Notice the change and the pleasant feeling. You might feel a tingly sensation in your feet. You might feel like your head will all of a sudden get hot. You might get like goosebumps. You might feel a yawn or a series of yawns. You may feel like laughing out loud. Sometimes people get the giggle spurts. You know, it doesn't matter. It manifests in all sorts of ways for different people. Now, when you know that you're ready, I want you to then open your eyes. Okay. So now, what I want to let you know is that this energy is still spinning inside of you, and it's going to continue to spin inside you. So you may feel different feelings in your body. Sometimes people feel a pinch in their toe or an electrical shock. It's usually some sort of pleasant, unusual feeling. Like I said, it manifests different in everybody. It could be that you may feel, right now, you may feel completely fine. Other people, it might take 2-3 minutes. It could take 5-10 minutes. It could take 2-3 hours. It may even take overnight. I haven't seen it take that long with anybody that I've done this with. But for the most part, it works pretty well. And if you notice that your pain level went from maybe like a 7, 8, or 9, or 5, 6, or 7, and it went down to like a 1 or 2, and you still have a pain level of 1 or 2, then you can repeat this again. If it's completely vanished, then it's completely vanished and it's done. This particular neuro health reset, like I mentioned before, there's oncologists, there's ER doctors, there's sports medicine doctors, there's doctors in LA Orange and San Diego County that I know of who actually use this in their practice and have had incredible results with their patients. And so I would love to hear from you guys what your results are. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I'd love to hear about them. I've had so many people that have been reaching out, private messaging me about this, that's why I'm doing these Facebook Lives, and I'm going to probably, as long as people want them, I'll keep on doing them. I'll try and do these every day. And I'll put in the description here the video that I did on, because people usually will ask, you could watch this video over and over again, or if you want, sometimes it's easier to find to save a YouTube video than it is to go find a video in Facebook. So I'm going to put a video that I just did because a couple people asked this past week for not just the written instructions, but they were also asking for a video that they could listen to. Anytime you have any pain anywhere in the body for any reason, anytime you're feeling fear, you want to get rid of it. Anytime you're feeling depressed, anytime you're feeling anxiety, nervousness, this is a fantastic method. And again, it hits 8 different sensory systems of the body, and that's why it works. So you're resyncing the left and right brain so that it fires and wires properly in the proper direction. And I want to emphasize the fact that now that this is spinning in the opposite direction, oftentimes chronic pain that it's taken you years to have in your body, now the reason why it's eliminated so quickly is because you saw that the energy was moving slowly in one direction. Now you're spinning it 10 times, 10 times, 10 times faster in the opposite direction, which is why now that energy is moving in the right direction infinitely, and that's why you progressively feel better. Okay? Oh my gosh, Debbie, I hope you did this. I hope this helps your tooth pain. And Carol, thank you for joining. And it's so cool you have these waves. Ron, thank you for joining us. And Brian and Manoj and Mila. Oh my gosh, Mila, I haven't seen you in a while. And everybody, I really thank you. If this can help anybody that you know, I would say tag them on this video so that they get the benefit. I'm really just doing this. I really want people to be relieved of pain, chronic pain, or pain for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. I just don't like to see people suffer. And as somebody I'm very empathic. And so I really feel people's joy. You know, I know there's a lot of empaths that just feel the negative, but I feel like people's joy, and I feel like it's my joy. And then when people don't feel good, that really doesn't feel good either. And over the years, I learned how to separate the two. I still recognize people's pain, and I just don't want you to have that pain. I want you to be able to have something that in less than 5 minutes you can apply it, and now it's with you all the time. You can do this anywhere, anytime, for yourself, and then you can share it with others. So I hope this helps you all. Thank you for tuning in, tapping in. Oh my gosh, Debbie! Love you. Gosh, I love you guys all so much. And Boris, and there's so many people that are here. I really appreciate you all. And if you have any questions, any concerns about this, let me know. Like I said, you can look up Dr. David Snyder. He's amazing. Dr. William Bengston, Bengston. Dr. William Bengston. He actually has the white papers of all the different research posted on his website. So it's great to read those medical papers. I'm kind of geeky that way because I was pre-med bio-sci, so can't take the geek out of me. But I like to look at the actual conclusive, scientific data and not just go through, airy-fairy hearsay. So, and for some of you, that's important. I know for some of you, you just care that it works. I like to be able to provide that to you all as well. So thank you very much. It's past midnight here, which for me is not that late because I know for y'all, since you're on here, it's not that late for y'all either. So I thank you for joining me, and ciao for now. Peace and love always. Bye. Okay. I'm gonna do an old-fashioned, old-school wave, because I don't know how to do a wave, if there even is a way for me to initiate a wave like you guys did for me. I don't know. If somebody does know, put it in the comments and I'll read it so I can learn, because I don't know. All right, that's it. I'm gonna hit the finish button.